Going on, Hood Nation? Nidge Ivan here, DFX. We are talking about a prediction with all the Mega Man Battle Royale that will be happening very soon with Death Battle. Ivan.
Yo, what's poppin', homie? What's poppin', everybody? So, before we get to the predictions, let me just say who I will predict first, who I think would win personally, and who I'd like to win. Mostly just Megamanexe because I played the X series; it's a fantastic series, and I know Megamanexe is a very powerful character, so he may have a chance in this battle. But that's my prediction for the moment. But as we get into this, I may or may not change my mind, but we'll just have to see. What about you, bro?
It's going to be very hard to share here. My money at the end of the day is going to be placed between X or Network, which is .exe, or maybe even Star Force. We will kind of be breaking it down here. If you don't mind, Ivan, let's start with who we know for sure has no chance in hell.
And who I think has no chance in hell is Voltnut Mega Man, just because what I've learned is that he's essentially Mega Man, just without the helmet. His abilities are virtually the same as Mega Man's, and well, the research I pretty much done on him was that his strength and speed is nowhere close to traditional Mega Man's. It literally just says his strength and speed is on par with an average man. So in that regard, I don't think he stands a hell of a chance if that's the case, because we already know that traditional Mega Man, very superhuman, he was able to hold up on Wily's tower. He's fast enough to attack Quick Man, who's like a third the speed of light. So in that regard, I think he's the first one that's going to be taken out without a doubt.
Yeah, Volnut here is, in my opinion, a nerfed version of the T-1000. That would be more of a fair fight. Would be him versus like RoboCop or T-1000, y'all. Just to kind of give you a taste of Volnut's capabilities. Now, to mention classic Mega Man, I just want to clear up a few things you said there. Him tagging Quick Man, like third of the lightning, that actually wasn't Quick Man. That was actually Electric Man. He actually
yes.
he shoots lightning bolts. Quick Man was actually the second version of robots that were made from Wily. Because at the end of the day, the original first 6 robots that Mega Man fought were his brothers. He was built.
Yes.
You remember, he was built originally to be a peaceful robot. These other ones were made to help out around the world. Blah blah blah. But in a nutshell, Electric Man, he was able to power cities and whatever. So we didn't have to worry about electricity ever again. Blah blah blah. Right? It was like a it was like a go green idea.
Yeah.
He was shooting out lightning. But then in the second one, Mega Man 2, Wily built Quick Man. Quick Man, every one of those robots he built in the second one was made to be superior, far superior from the original. It has been stated by Flashman from the Mega Man 2 series that Quick Man is about 2 to 4 times the speed of light. Now, that comes down to, is Death Battle going to count that statement? And the Astro Boy, they only counted him taking out Electric Man as his feats. Now, why I think that's lowballing is because you're taking Mega Man 1's feats in your Death Battle, right? Mega Man's been around for 11 Mega Mans now. Now, I know they're going to give him the gear system, which is pretty much like a Kaioken, as far as it's going to hurt his body, but he could slow down the time like the Matrix, so to speak. He can do bullet time, so to speak, maybe even faster. But from my understanding and how it is, and I'm talking canon and continuity speak, Quick Man was stated because what he was able to do was manipulate his surroundings around him, so everything was slower than what he was. And then Flashman, if you guys know from Mega Man 2 as well, he had the ability to freeze everything around him, or like he had the ability to manipulate matters around him as well. And right away he said, "Nah, Quick Man's not really 2 to 4 times." He's like, he's fast, but he uses trickery. He's like, but if I had to say it was like legitimately clocked on a speed gun or whatever, it's 2 to 4 times the speed of light. And Mega Man was still able to take him out. So classic Mega Man, 2 to 4 times speed of light. And that's all canon, continuity, or however you guys want to say it. Volnut hasn't done anything super spectacular that I know, or Ivan knows. If you guys know, please let us know. But, he's basically... So he's basically Batman in a very generic Iron Man suit. That's the best
Yeah.
way, really, to explain it. Like the Iron Man suit from the movies when he escaped Afghanistan. If you guys remember, like the original Iron Man movie,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
literally Batman in that suit. Like that's basically what Volnut is.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And honestly, I had a feeling they were gonna bring in the gear system because
mhm.
they put a lot of game mechanics. And to go off on a quick tangent, they're actually gonna give Mega Man X Z X's wait Zero's Z saber from
Ooh,
yeah, they're gonna give him a saber from Mega Man X6, which is very interesting because he only used that in that one game, but
that's
since it's
weird.
such
They shouldn't give that to him. That's not right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he did use it in one game. It's just he never used it ever again. But if they're,
Yeah.
I guess it's just gonna get full potential. They're just gonna give it to him. But
Well, if they give him full potential, then they got to give classic Mega Man all the Chaos Emeralds from when he teamed up with Sonic. I'm just saying, man. If you
no,
know,
no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
you can't just cherry pick your battles.
No,
One
no,
can
you're
say
absolutely
one,
right.
and it's all canon. At the end of the day, a lot of cats don't realize the word you all seeking is continuity. Continuity is legitimately like the main timeline that's followed and not quote unquote uh, counterdicts another timeline. Canon, however, is as long as you got the permission or the company owns the rights to it. Every toy you bought a Mega Man as a kid, every video game you played Mega Man as a kid, that's canon. That's it. Like
Yeah,
that's the problem is people don't understand that word still getting thrown around wrong.
yeah,
So
exactly. No,
and
I completely agree with that. Go ahead.
I still want to throw out though the classic Mega Man actually on the Game Boy versions once again. Do people count this as the main continuity? It is canon. So he was flying through space to stop Dr. Wily. And at the speed he was flying, based on the way, like a person, I give a shout out to Cartoon Fight Club. They actually did this. They measured the way he traveled out in space and fly. He was flying on Rush, and he is getting rushed, by the way. We all know he is. That's been confirmed. The classic Mega Man. He moves at several times the speed of light because he was doing it
Yeah,
in space. No problem, no sweat. He was handling it like a boss. So
yeah, that's true.
Voltnut, like I
Absolutely.
said, can't even run faster than Bolt from the Olympics. Our fastest brother on the planet, that dude's fast. He clocks in at what, 25, 27 miles per hour?
Yeah, that's fast. That's pretty fast for a human. Yeah,
Yeah,
and if that's as fast as our Voltnut can go, yeah, no fucking
he
chance.
stands. I literally made this statement. I said, if this was a real simulated, of course, it's all entertainment purposes, but if this was a real battle, he literally would die in the first 3 to 5 seconds. It
Yeah,
might even be it'd be faster than that, but I'm just throwing it out there. It would look like that if you guys know the Mighty Raccoon when he did the Flash versus Spider-Man. If none of you
yeah,
cats seen that, watch that. That's pretty much what would happen to him.
yeah, exactly.
Let's
Yeah,
move on to the next robot here. Which one you want to talk about, bro?
well, I guess since we should already talk about Mega Man EXE, the Virus Buster Mega Man.
Yep.
And so yeah, let's just go by if we're gonna go by aesthetics, I think he and Star Force would win just how badass they look, but obviously that's not important, but this is something I just have to get out the way because their designs are really fire. But I would have to say he's an extremely powerful opponent. Like he can easily this is going to be just based on what his abilities his alone because he has a lot of soul based abilities, a lot of custom abilities, as well as transform abilities such as his cross fusion, his double soul, his cross Mega Man, his cross system, and what's called Beast Out. Yeah, he has a lot of tricks other than just his simple Mega Buster, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna have his copy abilities as well. And yeah, he has also something called the bug, which is pretty much a glitch that he can utilize, which gives like different effects in battle for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And he has something called dark powers. He has something called the Navi customizer, style change, trans
Mm-hmm.
change. He has a lot of soul based powers. For really fighting fighting the viruses in his universe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not because I think you mentioned this before. How is this guy going to play into the battle physically? But because I
There,
believe. Go ahead.
there was software that was made by Navi, because
Yeah,
technically .exe is a Navi. We all know that. Which is LAN is like the Ash to the Pikachu, so to speak.
yeah,
So LAN's father made some type of hack or software that allows .exe, I'll just call him that, to actually exist in the real world. So
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
a way for him to actually be a participant of it. But how he enters robots is all wirelessly. Um, are you done talking, or is there any more you want to add, or should I go off on a little tangent here?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so basically, megaman.exe is a different continuity of the series. Of course, it's canon, but it's basically a parallel universe where, at that moment, the world that we knew of Mega Man traditionally, where there was actually two options, and this was originally stated in the original story. There was funding that was planned for the smartest scientists of the world, right? There was Light and Dr. Wily.
Yeah.
In the original story, the funding went to robots to better the world. This is in 20XX, or maybe like 19XX, right? So
Yeah.
the money went to create robots better. Hence, that's how we got our traditional Mega Man series. In this parallel universe, or whatever universe you want to call it, the money instead was spent on our networking instead of the robot funding. So
Yeah.
that's how we got megaman.exe. There was navies in there. There was viruses in the whole network. This network is insanely powerful and insanely deadly on all rights if not handled based on what it manifested itself into. It's kind of like the Terminator in a sense invaded it, you know, and that's where Mega Man, this .exe one, comes into play, and other navies. They just have to kind of stop the threat. So I guess if we had to put up, because I know you're putting your money on X, right?
Yeah, for the most part,
Okay.
just because I'm more familiar with the character, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Trust me, I'm way more familiar with X than .x.
Yeah.
The thing is that it comes down to how does Death Battle see it? Like, I'm like legitimately throwing that out there as in this is going to be how they see it, and this really determines everything. You know, like, is the Navi virus, you know, whatever in their series, is it better than the Sigma virus? We know in the X series that Sigma technically it was a Maverick virus at first, right? And Zero had it. The virus is like, what did I say? It's over like 100 years old. But everybody keep that in your pocket for now, because I'll come back to that. So the latest X series though now is in 22XX, right? So what year are we in right now? 2019. So 200 years from now is technically when the X series is happening. Versus, you know, the X series, it's still in 20XX, which is like potentially now, you know, anywhere between now and, you know, 80, you know, years from now. So the question is the Sigma virus stronger or weaker than a Navi? But we also have to understand that the Sigma virus was stated and canon, this is everything, that virus is over 100 years old. Even though it infected all these X robots, you know, in the Maverick virus, the
Yeah.
Sigma / yeah, that virus was over 100 years old at the time that it was even brought into the storyline. So, in the storyline of Mega Man X started in 21XX or 22XX. So, in theory, that virus is about as old as anything from the .exe series.
That's true. That's absolutely correct.
And remember, in .exe's universe continuity, whatever, they focused on antivirus and networking versus, you know, the X universe, they focused on robots. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if you really
absolutely.
put if the Sigma virus was insanely op during 20XX, I would assume the Navi viruses during 20XX, because they got the funding to build this shit, you know, would have to be just as strong, if not more powerful, because they focused on preventive maintenance versus a random fluke virus.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards X in this fight. Like I said, it comes down to Death Battle's perception of this, and I'm not going to be mad because at the end of the day, my Mega Man's going to win no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I can't get butthurt even if I wanted to get butthurt.